I've got something very exciting to share with you guys today. This so far has been my go-to frame for over a year now, and I could not be happier with what this thing has done. I'd like to introduce to you guys the RVS Mopax. What we're going to do today is we're going to do a build video and show you guys a little bit more about what this frame is all about. So we're going to take a look at what comes inside here. Of course, the most important parts to hold them batteries down. We got 2 Kevlar Rotor Village straps in the package. Open it up. We've got the screw set here, the hardware and the standoffs, and the bolts to hold it all together. And they're all complete separated, so if there's any worry of what screw to use, everything is all organized in the package here. 4 6mm arms in this unique Y-shaped pattern. In this package, we have the camera plates for the front. We have the braces that go between the arms. The top plate, of course. The mid plate with press nuts already installed. The 6mm dog bone that goes in between the arms. And the bottom piece that closes it all up. So what I've done here is I've actually put the arms together with the center dog bone to kind of give you an idea of how the orientation of the frame is going to go. And this piece right here is what would go directly over the bottom right here to hold the whole thing together. Pretty much to close it up. We're looking at the bottom perspective right now. If you notice in the front here, there's those 2 little slots on the left and right. Those slots right there are for putting through the camera plates for the left and right side. If this is your first time doing this build, what you're going to want to do is lay it out just to see the size of the screws and the hardware that comes with it. The press nuts go on the top, so when the arms go on the bottom and the plate goes on the bottom, the press nuts will pull down this way and sandwich the arms in between. So if all goes well with the process of putting the arms together, they should meet flush in the center. The brace should be sitting right here, holding with the 2 longer screws, and you should have just enough screw coming through the carbon so that you can add the standoff on top. So let's continue on and do the same thing for the opposite side. So at this point now, we should have 2 screws coming out of here, 2 screws coming out of the back. If we flip it over, we've got that dog bone laying in the center, that brace going over top, holding over the 4 corners, and we've got the brace at the front, now holding these 2 arms nice and strong. What I like to do is add these smallest screws, 2 of them in the front, add 2 of the standoffs in the front, 2 standoffs right here, and 2 standoffs at the back as well. And I generally just hand tighten them for now, just get them on there and hand tighten them, and then once I'm done the whole build, I go over everything and crank them all. If you guys are still following along with me, we went along and added those 6 standoffs to the frame, and it should look like this now. So we should have 2 smack dab in the front, another 2 directly just behind it, and another 2 standoffs right at the back. So on to the next. An awesome part about this kit is that we get this unique frame piece for the front of the camera plate, but not only do we get the 2 pieces that go with it, we also get a spare piece as well, just in case anything happens. And for the camera plates that go on that, the bash guards, we get 3 of those as well in carbon fiber. So of course you need 2, but there's an additional extra as well. So we'll go ahead and put this together. How I like to go about this is take the 2 camera pieces. They're going to sit directly like this on the frame. I add the standoff into the top in between here, and then there's another standoff that goes below the bottom. So these bottom screws here and these top screws here are where the standoffs are going to go. My choice of GoPro mount for the RVS Mopax is a 15-degree solid mount, non-adjustable. I've got it in the Chaos Purple here. It's going to be really awesome for this build. The rest of the parts are also in that Chaos Purple, but if you happen to be using a solid mount or even the adjustable mount, you're going to want to put those standoffs through the front here, get it halfway through. Oh, it's a little bit tight, but yeah, there we go. This is also going to add some extra durability for that GoPro mount, making sure that it's holding into the frame nice and strong. There's another 4 holes here. We're going to mount those 4 holes through the top of the top plate once we put it all together. But I put this through here because generally this standoff is going to have to go through the mount before I put the camera cage together anyway. So I went ahead and did that in advance. So because I'm a meatball, I completely didn't realize that I thought when I opened this up that the pieces were missing, but I didn't open the package well enough because I was just in too much of a rush. But the camera pieces are right here. The 2 RVS guards that actually go over these braces at the back and the front are there as well. And the SMA/Express LRS antenna is right here for the back. What it would look like when it's all together with those braces and those pieces is like this. So that RVS piece for the brace would go there. Another RVS brace would go here. The camera plates would go in the side here, on the left and the right. And the SMA antenna mount would go at the back here. So when we get those 2 camera plates on there, we should be looking something like this. With the round side of the camera plate, the rounder side, or wider, flatter side of the camera plate up at the top, and that short piece at the bottom. What you'll have to do now is, of course, put the standoff in between here, and the standoff in between the bottom as well. So it should fit roughly just inside there. Like that, and of course it would hold with the screw on either side. So I did kind of go ahead a little bit just to essentially give you guys an idea of what we're doing here. Got the GoPro mount in the front, and we put the standoffs through the center with the TPU pieces on the outside as well. It's the next day. I got a little bit busy yesterday, had to make dinner for the family, and I got tied up with things, so I couldn't actually finish the build the way I wanted to do it on the video. But most of the main parts are part of an essential FPV build, like installing the motors, soldering to the ESC, installing whatever video transmitter you're using and receiver. I installed my camera in the front, the Vista camera. I basically did the main parts of building the drone, but I'm going to go over pretty much what else I added to the frame. So additionally, I added the motor guards, the RVS motor guards to the frame to protect the motor wires, front and rear. I added the GoPro mount on the front, switcher around to the front here, and I've also added the bumpers for the front, the standoff that goes in between the front and rear. So all I have left to do now is wire up my receiver, so my Express LRS, place it somewhere back here, plug in the ESC to the flight controller, and solder on my motors. I guess let's get started. So we were able to get those motors soldered. I think it looks pretty damn clean. I hope you guys are happy with what you're seeing so far in this Mopax build. If you are interested in getting a Mopax and some of these parts that you see in this build, I've even got the FPV dad bod motors on here, made by yours truly, ZT Innovate. Honestly, this is just such a killer build. Hello family, friends, and fellow FPV pilots. It's the time we've all been waiting for. It's the grand reveal for what the Mopax frame is finally going to look like. All that's really left right now is just putting those screws through the top plate, mounting the GoPro mount, and calling it a day. This frame was primarily designed to be super easy to put together, extremely durable, and very easy to tune. There's no like specific tune that needs to be put on this drone to make it fly well. It literally will fly good on just a stock Betaflight tune. If you want to make it fly that extra little bit better, I do have a tune that I can give you guys to put on this drone. It's basically just a Betaflight preset, and then you just drop it straight through the CLI. Thank you so much for everyone for tuning into this video. I'm extremely grateful for all the support I've had since day one, and this frame is definitely going to be my go-to for quite some time. I guess now is the moment where we do the big reveal. Do you think they're ready, Noah?
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are ready. Look at this beautiful artwork my daughter did. Oh,